So this brings up another interesting question about practice. How do you approach fencing to win during practice versus practicing new or fencing to practice new skills during practice?
Yeah, I'll tell you that a lot of times in practice, it's not about it's not about winning the bout for me. A lot of it is much more the focus of I'm preparing a skill. I'm going to limit my game and practice this side of my game, and I'm going to reflect and continue to improve. I'm going to say I'm going to do my best to win, but I'm only going to work on shots to the hand and parry post. And you just decide. A lot of times in doing that in practice, it's not something I tell my opponent before or after, and it's just something I continue to develop throughout the game. And I think it gives me a lot more of a focus in the match of really giving myself, a mission. And I think that's very similar to what you see sometimes even in those team bouts. We did a lot of these in development of team competition because sometimes you are set in a very narrow spectrum of what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to hunt my opponent. I'm going to stop my opponent. I'm going for just one or two to get my team back on top. But those are the same skills you need in an individual tournament and a DE bout as well. And so sometimes you need to just make that mental switch in your head where you're like, oh, it's the second period and I'm only down one. I should spend the next 3 minutes to get one touch. Hey, I'm down by 4 in the last period. I need to really turn the gas up and figure out how to go after this guy, much like we saw in that video clip. So really, those are all same skills you need for yourself individually as well. And so I think it's really important to challenge yourself. But it's really easy to just get into the I want to win at all costs as opposed to I need to develop my skills and eventually recognize that a lot of fencers who are great champions, you'll watch them, they don't do everything in the fencing spectrum of all the actions and skills that are out there. They know their skills and they do their subset of skills so well that they don't need the other ones because it's like a gravity and it pulls you in. And it's so hard to escape the way they construct their matches that everybody seems to always fence them the same way, which inevitably enables their best actions to be successful all the time. And so, eventually what you do is you expose yourself to a lot of skills and then you kind of figure out which ones make up your game. And once you have a core sense of your game, then it's really refining and developing that core game. And then once that core game is good, then you're kind of working on what we're talking about a little bit, which is sometimes the special teams, which is, what do I do when I'm down by 2? How do I approach that? How do I approach, 20 seconds remaining in the match? And then you kind of develop those kind of specific skills, and then it really comes out in the tournament.